My little 2-year-old had just woken up from a sleep, and I went to take him out of the cot and fainted. Went to take him out of the cot again, fainted again, and I thought, yeah, better ring my husband. And he said, oh, fainting twice, that's something you need to get checked out. We went straight to emergency. After that initial presentation, I started to get intense, off the scale pain. My lungs had weakened so much that I needed to be intubated and go into critical care. I was diagnosed with necrotising myopathy, and I was in the fight of my life. Necrotising myopathy affects your muscles. The muscle cells are dying, and so that was what was happening in my upper limbs and muscles, and to my heart as well. So the next 2 weeks I was in an induced coma. Halfway through that, things weren't looking good at all, and sort of everyone in my extended family was praying for a miracle because I wasn't responding. In the induced coma, I would hear these voices saying my name, saying you're doing well, and in those moments I think it just grounded me that I was being taken care of, I was safe. I found out later those voices were attached to hands, and those hands were doing things that happen in a critical care unit. Things like plaiting my hair, cleaning my teeth, soothing me, taking care of all those physical needs, but in a way that was sort of spiritual. During those awake type dreams, I was aware that there was something happening that was on a big scale of life and death, and I was aware that I needed to be strong to have that breathing tube removed. One of the nurses perceived that I had a faith background. She asked whether I wanted to see a chaplain, and I was suddenly starting to face this fact that I'd almost died, and I was getting overwhelmed. So Liz, one of the chaplains, led my husband and I through this sort of teary but cathartic process of just processing what had just happened. I'm getting tears now because that was probably one of the biggest hurdles in then going forward. I really was aware that my son was the one thing that was sort of, I guess, helping me to live for. I'm living with a little bit of a different perspective on life, that it's about savouring the memories. I do have some really beautiful memories of the care that was given to me. When someone's at a life and death juncture, you don't know how much the little things, the small actions can contribute to you getting over the line.